Hello guys. So today I was bored, so I decided to make a video. And today's video is going to be about audiobooks because I noticed amongst people who enjoy books, there is a common discussion about are audiobooks the same as physically reading books, or should they count as reading? And I thought I would bring this discussion to my channel, and I want to share my thoughts, and if anyone else has thoughts on it as well, then they can also share that in my comment section. Or make their own video about it, and then share it with me. That'd be cool too. So when people say that audiobooks aren't the same as physically reading, I get where that is coming from, and I kind of agree. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I feel like physically reading a book with your eyes or your hands or whatever, and listening to it with your ears would be using different parts of your brain and developing different skills from one another. And so in that case, they are a bit different. And at least for me personally, they are different experiences. Like, I can retain nonfiction better physically reading than I can with audio. And also, like, I feel like if I'm gonna read any nonfiction, it has to be physically, and then I can listen to, like, fiction stuff on audio. And certain books just go better with audio for me, like with the narrator and stuff. And then other times, not so much. So at least for me, it's a different experience. But it's not probably for everybody. Now, the thing that people say that I don't agree with is that audiobooks don't count as reading, or people who listen to audiobooks are cheating, or they're lazy. That I do not think is true. I think that it's not cheating because you're getting the same story that someone who physically is reading would get, so I don't see how that's cheating. And there's lots of reasons why someone would listen to an audiobook rather than read an actual book. Like for me, it's mostly because of blindness. I am able to read Braille. However, I've said this in another video, not every blind person knows how to read Braille, and I think especially if you go blind as an adult, it's a lot harder to learn Braille. I feel like when you're a child, learning Braille is a priority, but if you go blind when you're like 30 or 40 or whatever in your adulthood, it's not going to be as much of a priority for you. And so, just not all of us know how to read Braille. And also, Braille is expensive and it takes up a lot more space since Braille's bigger and takes up more space than print, so our books are bigger. So a single book in Braille, a single book in print could be like up to 10 books or even more in Braille. So people just may not have the space for Braille books. Not everything that's printed is brailled, so that there's that. We have a very limited selection of books. And this is just physical Braille. I feel like now that more people have Braille notes and stuff like that, you can just download books on that. But even those are pretty expensive. I know I definitely can't afford one of those. And I still don't think you can get like any book you want because you have to make it like accessible with those, I guess. So, audiobooks for me are a great way to read what I want to read and not spend so much money or take up so much space. So, yeah, but there are other reasons, like other disabilities like dyslexia or other physical disabilities that may make it hard to pick up a book or turn the page. And so, yeah, audiobooks are very helpful for those people as well. And some people may just feel more comfortable or retain information better auditorily, and that's okay too. So, yeah, there's lots of reasons why audiobooks may be preferable to some people. And another thing is, I feel like reading should not be a superiority competition or whatever. I feel like it's meant to be fun and it's meant to be enjoyed by anybody, and people who listen to audiobooks shouldn't be excluded from that if they're enjoying themselves. And they shouldn't be excluded from discussions about books just because they technically didn't read it and they listened to it. Because, trust me, I can have a discussion about Harry Potter even though I've had Jim Dale read it to me. I've had Jim Dale read it to me about multiple times. I don't even know how many times I've listened to Harry Potter. So, yeah. Plus, I feel like developing listening skills is just as important as developing reading skills, and an audiobook can be a great way to practice listening to people. And yeah, I feel like everyone has something unique to bring to a discussion, and an audiobook can actually just give you another thing to talk about, because then you can talk about your opinions on the narrator and how you think they did. And sometimes the narrators can be very helpful, especially in books with a lot of, like, how do you say it, like dialect or whatever. Like, I'm reading To Kill a Mockingbird at the moment, and this southern dialect, I already know if I was reading this physically, I would be struggling, and I am grateful to the person narrating this. And so, yeah, it can be very helpful in that way as well. So, yeah. And it's interesting to see how these people interpret the book and how the characters talk and all that. Yeah, I think there is definitely pros and cons to reading and to listening, but at the end of the day, how someone gets their stories doesn't affect anyone else but them. And everyone is still able to have thoughts and discussions about books, regardless of, once again, how they got the story. It's still the same story, and if you really have a problem with people listening to audiobooks instead of physically reading, then just move on. Go find someone to talk with who doesn't do that, I guess. But like I said, reading is meant to be enjoyable and fun, and what's important is that the person understands the story, and just like, it doesn't matter as long as the person has gotten the story, whether they read it themselves or listened. So, yeah, that's really all I have to talk about. I hope this was interesting to people. And like I said at the start of the video, feel free to let me know of your thoughts in the comments, or share any video that you made or someone else made about this topic. I would be very interested. I will see you all soon in another video. I hope everyone's having a great day, and bye for now.